In terms of the Buddha and the themes he was exploring, well, all you have to do is do a quick Google search on Buddhism, and you'll see the major themes he was exploring. The Eightfold Path is very much connected to the Buddhist way. The Eightfold Path is in many ways based upon the 8 limbs or the 8 branches of yoga. The 8 limbs, the 8 branches of yoga are connected to the 8 points of the compass and the magical Eastern symbol that is octagonal in nature. Some of you will know what I'm referencing here. But it is this eightfold way, this eightfold approach, this eightfold path that the Buddha was standing upon. The Buddha utilized many different techniques, many different methods and schools of thought to come to the realizations that he came to. But you must remember, what you call the Buddha is not one being. As I had just mentioned with Yeshua, there are many expressions of the being that you call the Buddha, and these other versions exist on many other expressions of Earth. So this historical character that you call the Buddha, he's not one being, many beings, just like your Yeshua. And the Buddha ultimately represents a level of consciousness that one can reach as a side effect of integrating those 8 limbs and ultimately those 8 virtues or areas of focus. Through this type of cultivation, a structure, a harmonious structure within the self is produced. And that structure is then ultimately released. And the structure supports the meditator in then experiencing non-attachment, letting go, feeling the collective oneness, the resonance with all things. It is this level of consciousness that the Buddha represents. Because when your cup is empty, it can then be filled. When you think you know everything, I'm full of spiritual wisdom, I'm full of information, I'm full of experience. When you think you know everything, you become blind. You can't see. You can't experience life clearly. Everything has to come through a filter of processing. So the Eightfold Path and the 8 limbs are meant to produce within one's mind the neurological structures, the energetic structures that allow for an individual to center themselves, to expand themselves, and to easily release attachment and aversion and ignorance. So from these structures of consciousness, what are called the 3 poisons or the 3 fires can be extinguished. Enlightenment means to be extinguished. It's to put the fire out. So these 3 fires are extinguished from these structures. And when those 3 fires are extinguished, then the individual can experience that total resonance. But that's not the highest level. You must remember this. The Buddha represents a level all beings must pass through, but it is not a final destination.